Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Locker Room Talk Uncut. I am Drew Garrison in the locker room with Chad Penrod. We're back after last week missing due to the Ohio State home order. I talked to DeWine. We're fucking essential. We're 6 feet away. We're going to get this thing going. We're going to talk about the Bengals' options with the number one draft pick and some trade scenarios that have been kind of thrown out into the media. We're going to get into Baker Mayfield, see if he's going to bounce back from last year and have another year like his rookie year. Jameis Winston and Cam Newton still on the market. Where will they land? Some good players left in free agency. What do we think our team should do here? And then word came out today that Khabib could take a private jet out of Russia and make UFC 249 happen. If he doesn't, what would we want to see there? And then we're going to talk about how this virus has made us much more grateful for sports. So, Chad, let's get into this thing, man. Glad to be back. What are we going to talk about?
Well, I actually got some bad news, man. UFC 249, as you said that, crazy enough, Khabib posts on his Instagram that he will not be leaving Russia and he's not going to make the fight against Tony Ferguson at UFC 249.
Oh, damn.
I don't know. I mean, my first thought is, damn, that sucks.
Yeah, that was a big fight we were looking forward to.
This could easily been fight of the year, fight of the decade. Yeah, I mean that sucks, you know. But I'm sure UFC 249 will go on. Dana White, I'm sure he has something big up his sleeve. He probably knew this was coming, you know. But we can't help what's going on. But this is the third time that this fight has been scheduled and postponed, canceled, whatever.
Didn't you say Conor McGregor called this a little bit?
Conor said one of these guys was going to back out.
Pandemic or not, they did. I mean, if he can get out of Russia, why won't he?
I don't know. It's because, like you said, when we opened up here, word was he could get a private jet out, and I would think somebody as big as Khabib could get out of Russia. I just don't think that there's no way out for him. I don't care if Dana had to fly in a fucking private helicopter or jet himself to get him out of Russia. But I don't know. I mean, so there's other options here. You know, are we gonna? You know, is somebody going to jump in and fight Tony? Because I'm sure Tony's ready to go, maybe for an interim belt. Is Conor going to step in and fight Tony? I don't know. I'd like to see it.
Well, I would think if Khabib can't get out of Russia, Ireland's pretty hard lockdown too. I don't know if Conor could get out of there. I don't know.
I don't know, man. I just don't think these guys can not get out.
I mean, if it's a law, it's a law.
Yeah,
I don't know, but
I don't know. But
I had just seen that Khabib had the option to get out on a private jet, so I don't know if he had determined the law wouldn't let him or what. I'm not sure. But
yeah, I'm not sure.
That's
it's brand new to us. Yeah,
that
it sucks. That sucks because, man, we've been waiting on that fight for months. We've been talking about it.
Does this mean I don't get grilled wings now?
Hopefully, I mean maybe they step up and maybe I've heard maybe Usman and Masvidal.
How are they going to pull all that out of their ass with what is it, the 18th? So just a little over 2 weeks ago. That's a lot to pull out of your ass with a global pandemic going on.
But you got to think though, and one of your favorite fighters is Nate Diaz. When Nate signed to fight Conor the first time, when Dos Anjos pulled out, Nate was ready to go in less than 2 weeks.
No, that's true. But I'm saying with the coronavirus and the flight restrictions and all that, where are they even having it? It's not taking place in the U.S., is it?
We don't know yet. Nobody knows. But Dana White is just continuing to say the show will go on. So
I don't know. Weird, man. I wonder what he's got lined up because it can't be taking place in America. They're not going to let it happen. Was it supposed to be in Vegas?
Actually, yeah, New York.
New York,
the original spot. So the thing is, you know, most people be like, well, push it back, just push it back until, you know, everything clears up. But the thing is Khabib is going into, what is that called? Where he doesn't eat for like 45 days. Or,
he's going to fast?
Yeah, but what's the word for those guys? I forget what they call.
Yeah, I think Ramadan.
Yeah, Ramadan.
I don't know his religion. I don't want to speculate. But Ramadan, I believe, is something more of like an Arabic. Something he's doing something like that.
I seen something on Twitter about that. This said he wouldn't even be ready to fight until June or July now because of this.
Yeah, something similar to Ramadan.
A few days after the fight on April 18th, he was going to go into that.
Oh, okay.
And so he wouldn't be able to fight. So you can't just push it back because they're saying he can't train like that if he's not eating or whatever it is that he does.
That's his religion. Yeah, it's usually something where they don't eat until like after the sun's down or something of the sort.
So I don't know. So it appears I mean, the easy thing would be, okay, find a replacement for Khabib, but, who would that be to step in and fight Tony? If it's not Conor, then, who is it? Is it? I don't really want to see Dustin Poirier, even though he said he'd fight. I mean, I would just do I would make it 2 big fights. I would put 2 big fights on a card, and just to make up for it, if it's possible, like a Masvidal and Usman, and maybe a Covington and Woodley. I don't know.
That'd be nice.
I mean, they're going to have to do something. Unless they just postpone it. But Dana just seems like he's the one guy that's going out like, all right, I'm not letting this affect the UFC. We're giving the fans entertainment. I respect it.
Yeah, I mean, I love the fact that he wants to do it, but I'm just confused of the logistics of it all. How's he gonna? I mean, we don't even know where the fight's happening, but I mean, how's he gonna get somebody to come out of? I mean, it's all crazy. We're in such unprecedented times.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. If Khabib's out and Conor's not going to be able to come in or doesn't want to come in, put 2 really good fights on that card and give the world something that it needs right now in sports, because people need it.
You need it, man. People are going stir crazy. I mean, this sucks. I mean, this is one of the hardest things. I mean, I think I've ever had to go through, as far as, just nothing, man. There's no sports. There's no, you can't go to the movies. You can't go walk around the mall. This virus just feels like it's holding everyone down, and along with the government really controlling everything that we do, making sure nobody gets sick. I don't know. I mean, that's why grateful that we could at least come in here and give maybe whoever listens to this an hour to not think about the virus. So it sucks to even bring it up, but
it's hard not to. It's affecting everything that we talk about.
Everything that we do. So I don't know, but hopefully Dana figures something out. I would love to still see UFC 249 on April 18th, and hopefully he gets some replacement fighters in there, and the show goes on. Yeah,
it'll be interesting to see how he does it.
All right, Drew. So let's switch this over, man. Over to the NFL. Obviously, free agency going on. A lot of draft talk now starting to pop up here, and the NFL is kind of playing it as in, like almost like nothing's happening on the outside of nobody being at the draft. Which is nice. You can get on Twitter and at least read new signings, and we'll still be able to watch the draft. But I posted this on Facebook earlier today, and it got a lot of attention. So I'm just going to ask you, man. There's word out there that Miami could offer up 3 first-round picks, that being pick 5, pick 18, and pick in the mid-20s there to the Bengals for pick 1 and their chance in taking Joe Burrow. How would you feel about that?
I would need all 3 of their firsts this year, plus a second this year, to even answer the phone.
The second? Ooh, I don't know, man. Maybe a second the following year.
The Bengals are in a position where they have to just do it.
Do what?
Get your franchise quarterback. Get your new quarterback. There's been so many years of 7 and 9s and middle, so you're out of the range for the top, the higher up quarterbacks, or just being too far out of draft position to get one. I understand that they could fill a lot of holes with those picks. That's good, but I just think that you have the guy that he almost fits, because the Bengals O-line is suspect, to say the least. But you watch all this film. I watched like a 17-minute breakdown of his game the other day. I can't remember the guy's name. It was on YouTube. It was phenomenal. He's great off script. He's great when a play breaks down. He's great at evading pressure. He gets away from sacks sort of like Ben Roethlisberger did, and I hate to make that comparison because I don't like that guy, but he feels the pocket and gets away from pressure that way. He just seems like the guy. His girlfriend's from Cincinnati. His family's from Ohio. They live 2 hours away. All that stuff's there too, but he just seems like the guy. And what are you going to do? Trade him and go get Herbert, who they think is a project? Jordan Love, who they think is a project? And I just personally don't want anything to do with Tua. I'm just not into Tua.
See, I like Tua a lot.
Too many injury concerns, too many big injuries on lower extremities. Yeah. I don't like how
that's the scary part to me.
Lefty quarterbacks don't typically play out that well in the league. I consider that. I've been on the Burrow train since I watched him shred Alabama head-to-head with Tua. I understand that they could fill a lot of holes with these picks, but at the same time, we've been in this Andy Dalton purgatory for 9 years now, and how good is he? Is he good enough? We don't know. He's kind of right there in the middle. Just make the pick, get your guy, and go. And I don't understand why all these mocks and these articles are out here like, oh, well, best case scenario for Burrow is that he ends up in Miami. What has Miami done to put themselves head and shoulders above the Bengals as a franchise? They were smart. They dumped some guys, got some picks and all that. But, I mean, if you look at the last 10 years, the Bengals have won more games. They've won more division titles. They've been to the playoffs more. So what makes Miami head and shoulders better of a situation to go to than the Bengals, other than the fact that they did dump some of their guys, get some draft capital, and they can load up this year? But, I mean, they won 5 games last year.
And that right there is a great point. It just appears to me from the outsider looking in, I just felt like, because listen, I think the Bengals have had a great free agency, and we haven't said that in years about the Bengals having a good free agency, because usually they're not even players.
Right.
But if you look at the two, and because they're both in a rebuild, if you look at the two, it seems like Miami's doing it better.
Well, yeah, because of the picks that they've acquired, and they made some good signings.
As to where Mike Brown likes to hold on to some of the guys he probably should let go and take the picks when he could get them.
I mean, Miami's gotten it right last season,
but as far as being like you said, making the playoffs and of the sorts, yeah. I mean, I think coming from a Browns fan, I don't think the Bengals is an awful spot.
I just think that, like, organizationally looking at it, they don't have a body of work to put them head and shoulders above the Bengals either. I get that, they sold on some of their guys. They got the first from Minka. They did it the right way. They did some things that I wish the Bengals would have with moving on from guys, getting good picks while you can still get them. They've gone through just as many quarterbacks, if not more, than the Bengals have.
Yeah.
I just don't see, like, they're still trying to drum this up like, oh, best case for him is he goes to Miami, but they haven't proven to be any better of an organization either. I just don't see that it's head and shoulders above anything else, and as of right now, I think he'd have better weapons in Cincinnati. I don't know about the line, but I know he'd have better weapons.
So my take on the trade, which where we're heading at here, is I don't think it's a lose for Cincinnati either way. Because I think say Miami calls, they offer you the picks and you don't take it, will you get Joe Burrow? In my opinion, Joe Burrow is the best quarterback in the draft.
Yeah, I agree.
But if the Bengals look at it from a distance and they say, okay, we're going to take all 3 of those picks. Well, at pick 5, there's a good chance that you can take Isaiah Simmons.
Yeah.
Who just looks like a freak.
Oh, yeah, he's going to be a monster.
And then not only that, you get 2 more first-round picks. You got pick 18, who, in my opinion, one of the best linemen in the draft is going to be there from Houston, Josh Jones. And plus you have Jonah coming back. So you just established a left tackle and a right tackle on rookie deals. You got your premier middle linebacker, and what they've done with the defense is absolutely outstanding. There's outside, like, Trey Waynes is better than Dre, who got cut.
Which I kind of knew was happening.
Yeah, I mean, it was, but the defense have gotten better, but they haven't. We've talked about this. They haven't touched on the linebacker or the offensive line. And Burrow's going to need protection, because you don't want to Tim Couch him.
Yeah, but they do those three. They take those 3 picks. They don't get it. They get Simmons, they get a lineman, and then wherever else. Where do you get your quarterback? You're just back to another year Andy Dalton or Ryan Finley.
And then pick 26 is the other one. So you got 5, 18, and 26.
There's not going to be a quarterback there at 18 or 26.
No, and you're right. So what do you this is where you got to. This is where they've talked about being aggressive. Okay, who says you only can trade once?
No, you're right.
What if you get a Simmons, you get a Josh Jones, and then you trade 26 up and you can land Love? Or I'm just saying, or and sit him behind, let's say, a fucking Cam Newton or Jameis Winston.
Absolutely not on Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston sucks.
He does, but as a 1-year bridge quarterback, we see it all the time.
His turnover numbers have gone up every year.
Then what about Cam?
I don't like Cam either. I don't like him as a person.
No, but I think Cam will win you games.
I think he could win his games, but I don't like him as a person, and I don't know if he takes a 1-year deal anywhere.
No, and you could be right, but it could be prove it, and then he's back up in the big money. Not that he's out of the big money, but I just think.
But then
there's a lot of holes on the Bengals.
There are, but you wait on that, or you go get Cam. What if Cam's injury doesn't check out? He hardly played last year. Yeah. You're putting yourself at a risk. And okay, let's say you go get him and you win 6, 7, 8 games next year. Well, then where are you at?
Well, let me just tell you what scares me. And I'm just going to bring this up because me and you, when we talk Bengals, we talk about it all the time. And I'm going to repeat myself. They've done great in free agency, but we had 2 spots going into free agency that they had to make better.
No, but they don't value linebacker. It's clear, for better or for worse.
Offensive line.
Well, they're not going to They're not going to draft a right tackle because they're still paying Bobby Hart, which is fucking stupid. Because
everyone can see that
they could have got out of that
but
deal.
Everyone can see that. A replacement is a possibility. The biggest thing for me for the Bengals right now are linebackers that can tackle outside of obviously now a franchise quarterback. I don't know. So here's my take on it is this. If the Bengals take Joe Burrow, great. If the Bengals trade the number 1 pick for those 3 picks, if it's possible, I don't think it's bad either. I don't think the Bengals lose.
They're not in a position to lose, I guess. I just, after so many years of Andy Dalton and the same shit, I'm just ready for it to get the next guy, retool it. Look, the line is very suspect. It was much better at the end of the year when Cordy Glenn came back because you had your left tackle who is now gone. Their guard spot, the competition is going to be at guard because I actually saw some numbers to where Bobby Hart came on pretty good at the end of the year. I don't trust him to continue that. I hate Bobby Hart. Terrible signing. They should have gotten out of that money as soon as they could this year and replaced him. And that's where I think you cut Bobby Hart's money, and we should have outbid you for Jack Conklin.
Yeah, you cannot, and I'm going to say this: you cannot Tim Couch Joe Burrow.
And I don't think that they will.
You can't put him back there and let him get beat on until he just can't do his job anymore.
And at the beginning of the year, you saw them with Dalton last year when they were real close with Seattle, and then the wheels kind of fell off a few weeks in. But they're getting those quick throws out. They're not getting the time to pressure. I think they're going to have to do that. But I don't think that the line is going to be as bad as people think. I know that they gave up, I think, 36 sacks last year, which is a lot. But as things progress, when they got the left tackle back, the guard spots kind of got shored up. Trey Hopkins is the cemented center now. He earned his contract that he got. I don't think it's as bad as people are thinking.
But here's my thing. Here would be
not bad enough to pass on Burrow to go get a Jameis or a Cam and see about Love, because I people are real high on Love, talking about him going as early as 12 to the Raiders. I just don't like him that much.
And my thing to be that is the majority of your pressure is going to come from the edge. Now listen, Cordy Glenn is a seasoned vet and can play left tackle. We know when Cordy Glenn wants to play left tackle, he's a damn good left tackle. I would take him on the Browns right now.
Yeah, I think it's a mental thing with him.
Yeah. And we can say the line's fine or whatever, but we are putting in Jonah Williams, who hasn't played not one down in the NFL yet.
Absolutely.
So you're putting him in there for a rookie, and on the right side you have the guy you hate in Bobby Hart.
Fat Bobby.
So there's a lot of possible pressure coming at Burrow around the edge. So
Yeah, but you can take Burrow and then address that the next draft or the next free agency. I understand.
Why not do it now?
Well, how are they going to do it now, though?
Well, let's see. You got it. You get rid of Dalton. There goes what, $17 million?
Yeah, but where's the good offensive linemen that are left? There's none.
There's all kinds of left tackles. There's fucking. You can trade for Trent Williams. You can get Jason Peters.
They're not going to do that with a left tackle. With their if they found one of those guys that would come play right tackle, I would say go for it. But they're not going to take on a Trent Williams money or overpay Jason Peters and put Jonah Williams on the bench.
There is still a ton of good players left in free agency.
Will they come play guard? If they'll come play guard, then cool. But they're not going to put their first rounder on the bench for an older guy.
Well, no. I'm okay. Left tackle, that's fine. I keep forgetting about Jonah. But right tackle, just because you're paying Bobby Hart, don't mean he has to play right tackle. You can move him into guard.
Well, they can get out of the money too,
better or whatever. Yeah,
who's out there? That's the thing.
We can go. We can go down the list. There's plenty of good linemen left.
I'm not aware of any of them. I didn't know that.
Oh no, there's plenty of linemen left. I don't have the list in front of me.
Then they should be on the phone.
Looking it up earlier. Yeah, and that's the thing too. You know, if you solidify one of those positions, then it'd be a no-brainer.
Yeah, absolutely. They can cut Bobby Hart right now and save like $7 million.
And then you can cut Andy and save that
17.5, which I don't know why that hasn't been done yet.
Because I don't think that if it doesn't go guaranteed, as long as it don't go guaranteed, what's the point? I don't think his money goes guaranteed until when? Is it the beginning of the season?
I'm not sure, but I just don't understand. I don't understand why he's still on the team.
I mean, I wouldn't even have him in as a backup.
I think that they may be keeping him because they're entertaining the trade.
I don't like that because he still wants to play.
Well, I'm saying because they may entertain trade offers.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Because honestly,
even if you can trade him for a player.
No, I'm saying let's say they take Miami's trade offer and they get those 3 first-rounders. I would rather Dalton bridge a Jordan Love that they're going to draft and try out than a Cam Newton or a James Winston.
Oh, you're saying a bridge for them,
and I'm not a Dalton fan.
Yeah. Oh, no.
So maybe they're hanging on to him because they're still weighing their options with that.
Yeah.
I would rather go with old familiar Dalton for a year.
When you say that, that's a really good point. Is there we're close to the draft. Is there a scenario out there to where that's been discussed and they're discussing, okay, well, hell, let's keep Dalton a year and go in on Trevor Lawrence? Not that I think they're going to be there because I think on paper right now the Bengals are winning anywhere from 7 to 9 games.
I think they're going to win at least 5.
I got more than that. I like what they've done in free agency. They just haven't hit the offensive side, which still has playmakers, just no line. But yeah, but to that question, dude, I think they're in a win-win. You take Burrow or you get 3 picks. Either way, I think somebody's going to get a kudos. Now, I think if you don't take Burrow, Cincinnati fans might bear down a little bit. But I don't think it's not smart. I actually think it could be smart on the way of looking at it. All right, we have a lot of holes.
I think people would understand it. They would be upset because everybody wants Burrow. But if you look I've been on the Burrow train hardcore since that Bama game where he went head to head with Tua and just blew it up. But if that trade happened, I would have to sit down and be like, okay, there's 3 first-rounders this season that you can get out of it. I would be okay with it. But another thing that I want to point out too, we were just talking about their win total. You said maybe 7 to 8. I said about 5. I was looking at the numbers. They lost 8 games by 1 touchdown or less. So a couple things go their way. Their season could go a lot different. I'm not going to say that they're going to come out here and go 11-5 or anything. They were 2-14 for a reason. Those close games usually come down to coaching.
Yes.
That's where I put it on Zach Taylor.
I was about to preach that too.
So, and you almost give him a wash last year. He got hired late after the Super Bowl. He put his staff together late. He was moving his family in, didn't get time to get settled. Now he's got a whole off season. So let's see what you got. But
yeah, good coaches find a way to win.
Yeah, you win those close games.
We've been in a ton of those too. But yeah, I agree with you.
So does this off season of him having nothing but football to focus on, even with the pandemic going on, benefit him? Maybe. Last year it was pretty rushed. He had 10 different guys he tried to get for D coordinator. I'm still not sold on the D coordinator either. Because they're committed to running this nickel defense as their primary defense. I just don't know how much I like it and how much I agree with it.
I like linebackers.
They've gotten Trey Waynes is an upgrade over Kirkpatrick in tackling. I'll tell you that because how many times have we watched?
Seems like that's what they kind of focused on.
They definitely did.
But you still need linebackers that can tackle because that's your middle. That's your middle part of the field. Obviously, Von Bell. Von Bell's a great signing. I wanted Von Bell bad.
See, that's what I'm wondering though. Are they going to put Von Bell up in the box, or are they going to put Sean Williams up in the box? Because Williams did well in the box.
I think that's what you were saying. sounds right. I think that they might be experimenting with Sean Williams just sitting up in the box.
The numbers with him last
Bell
year
and Bates.
But Bell's really good up in the box too.
Yeah, he
didn't
miss a tackle.
I'm wondering who they're going to use there because Sean Williams' numbers when he came up and played the box were actually surprisingly good.
That's because he only played 1/4 of the downs because he was under.
Well, yeah, you go out for a play, you get hurt, you come back. So I mean, it's interesting to see what they're going to do there. I just at the end of the day, get your quarterback. Let's not leave it to chance anymore. Because, as bad as you have to be to get the number 1 overall pick, they haven't had one since 2003. So It's been, 17 years.
The guy's there if you want him. You can get the best quarterback or you can get 3 picks. I don't think you can lose. Either way, if I'm a Bengals fan, I'm happy about it.
Stay pat and take Burrow, though. That's what I want.
Yeah.
So, getting back to more NFL stuff here, let's talk about your quarterback situation. Baker Mayfield, saw some pictures on the internet here a few months ago where he looked kind of fat. And then I saw a couple pictures yesterday where he doesn't look fat anymore.
Looks
so
jacked. Looks like he's been working out, don't it?
Yeah, he's been doing the crunches, I guess. So the question is, though, is Baker going to bounce back from last year and go back to the form he showed his rookie year, or is this going to be more of the same? But I want to ask you this as a Browns fan: if he doesn't bounce back in this new system and he doesn't, get back to the guy that you thought he was going to be 2 years ago, is it time for the Browns to move on?
So. Let me answer this first. First of all, I expect, and I'm going to sound like a homer here, but I've been saying this, and I'm going to give you my reasons why. I expect Baker to have a big year, almost like they thought he was going to have last year.
Okay.
We know Stefanski's system. He's going to run the ball. Nick Chubb's going to carry the ball 30 times a game.
Way more than he did last year.
Way more than Freddie. Let him.
Freddie bathrooms.
And what is that going to do? That is going to open up the pass. And what I love about the Stefanski system the most is the 12 personnel. There's going to be heavy formations, double tight ends. We're going to have Hooper and Njoku both on the field a lot with Jarvis and Odell. Also, what that means is you're going to have the play action to get Baker out of the pocket.
That's where he's good.
Exactly. Baker is a shorter quarterback. It's no secret. It's never been his problem because of the depth he gets on his dropbacks, and how fast he gets back there on his dropback. But that being said, if you go back and you watched tape of Baker, his first his rookie year, you see 12 personnel. You see play action. You see runs that set up the pass. And you see Baker, what Baker's known for is the accuracy.
Dude, that ball that he threw, I saw it on Twitter.
Jarvis against the Panthers?
Yes, dude. I saw that on Twitter yesterday, scrolling through something, and I just holy shit.
It was a perfect
I forgot
throw.
About that ball.
And he lost some of that last year. There's just too much. There's too much 5 wides. The offense was just predictable. There's just too much, and
his footwork looked bad last year.
Well, he got bigger. He wasn't so light on his feet as he was his rookie year. And I think Stefanski's already came in and they're already picking at him. You see him working.
Alex Van Pelt is a good get for him, also.
A great get. And you look at the videos you've seen online. I mean, he's working. You see him working all the time, whether it's with his wife or with Danny Amendola. He's been working with him a lot, and a lot of the college and high school players there at Lake Travis there in Oklahoma. But you see him working a lot, and you didn't see a whole lot of that last year. I think the Browns
saw a lot of commercials and photo shoots.
You've seen a lot of commercials, photo shoots. You've seen a
Tigers
lot of,
and shit.
Yeah, you've seen just a lot of. Okay, we know we're going to be good. We're good on paper. Well, Browns, look, you're really, really good on paper again, offensively.
Is that going to spell 6-10 or
right,
10
exactly.
and 6?
Offensively, they look like a top 5 offense, if not better. Defense has holes. It does have holes. But to answer your question, I think Baker's going to have a huge, huge year, man. And I know it's the same as last year, but. You posted the question on Facebook on our page, and you asked quarterback or coach. 99.9% of the time, it's coaching for me. The 0.01% is Tom Brady. We'll answer that another day.
Okay, that's fair.
But so I think the coaching's there. I think that I think he bounces big, dude. I think he's a pro. He's Pro Bowl bound. And then to answer the second part of that question, could this be it? Listen, if we start off bad and we're looking like we're out of it, with there being the chance at a second or that playoff team, that extra playoff team.
Yeah, that.
Listen, if he goes down, if he starts bad and he can't do his job, we know what Case Keenum can do with Stefanski.
That's true.
We watched it.
I kind of forgot that the Browns signed him, and you said that like a month and a half before free agency.
Yeah, and they gave him the good backup money for a reason.
Yeah, absolutely.
We know he can run that system. I'm not saying Case Keenum's the fucking future of the Browns.
He went to an NFC championship.
He went to an NFC championship with the Vikings and Stefanski. And if Baker can't thrive in this system, we know Keenum can. And then, I mean, this is a make or break year for Baker, and I see him putting the work in. I think he's going to be our future quarterback. Like I said, I think he has a huge season. But if he don't, Case Keenum's right there on his heels, man.
I see him having a better year because I think that the coaching was just so bad last year,
Pitiful.
man. They hired Freddie to be the head coach because that's what Baker wanted. It was like his buddy after Hugh was gone.
It made sense.
It made the theory of it made sense, but your quarterback has to get along with his head coach and his play caller. Don't get me wrong, but he doesn't have to be his buddy.
Right.
I don't know about a huge year just because there are some limitations, and Baker's big rookie year there was a lot of weak competition. But I like Baker. I liked him when he planted the flag at Ohio State. A lot of people still aren't over that. I thought that was awesome. I liked him coming out. I do
big
think
playability from Baker Mayfield is legit.
Yeah, it's there. So I've always liked him as a quarterback. I did think that maybe he should have laid off the commercials and the photo shoots and that video where he's like, "Oh, do you own this tiger?" And Baker's like, "Oh, only twice a year." Like, okay, you beat us twice in your whole career. Talking about the Bengals,
3 times.
But at that point when that video came out, it was only 2. But I see a better year. I see a more efficient year. I don't know about huge. I don't know if he's going to lead the league in anything, but they're going to be. I think their offense is going to be good. He's going to get in play action. He's going to have the 12 personnel. Nick Chubb, I think he was 40 yards short of leading the league in rushes last year.
He should have had it.
And dude,
he should have had it weeks before the season ended.
He was 40 yards short. But there was like halves of games where he didn't run the ball with Freddie Kitchens there. He could have.
I would like to
probably
see his
set a
touches
record
compared to Henry's.
Yeah, he probably could have set a record. So I expect Chubb to. One of the reasons I don't expect Baker's numbers to inflate so drastically is because I think a lot of it's going to be done on the ground. I really, really like Nick Chubb. Yeah. I really, really like Kareem Hunt. I think that Stefanski's going to get them the running attack that they need more, so that's going to take a little bit of the pressure off of Baker. And that's not to say that Baker's a guy where you have to take the pressure off of him. I'm not going to put him in the class of like an Andy Dalton yet, where it's like, okay, just manage the game and don't fuck up.
Right.
But Stefanski's going to commit to running it.
Yeah, he is. But we've seen Baker can make the plays. Baker can make the throws because the one thing that you can't teach is accuracy.
And that's one of my bigger things on Burrow. I was like, well, he's got great receivers, and he's got but the receivers aren't putting the ball in the perfect spot where it needs to be, and we've seen Baker do that. Right. Great competition or bad competition, these are NFL DBs, and I've watched him put a ball where his guy gets it or it hits the ground. Yeah. So I'm not going to take that away from him at all.
No. So, I would agree in the sense that, yes, they're going to run the ball, but I do think Baker's going to have some big numbers. I think Odell's going to also have a big year. I think Odell, Chubb, Hooper, and Baker are all going to have huge years.
I could easily see it. I just from a number standpoint on Baker, I don't know if it's huge because I think the running game is going to be so much better that he's not going to be throwing.
And that's crazy to think that the running game for the Browns can get better after what Chubb just did.
It absolutely could get better.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's going to.
Freddie stopped. I mean, dude, he put up 100 yards in the first half and then touch it 3 times in the second half. It's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah. So
I think he could have set a record last year. I don't know what the rushing record is, but he probably could have came damn near close if Freddie would have just turned around and handed him the ball.
Yeah, so pretty much to answer that question, I do think Baker's going to have a big year. The second part of that question, if not, I mean, I think this is make or break for Baker, man. This is This is his team. The offense is totally on Baker right now. There's no reason on paper that Browns should not put up 30, 40 points a game. They are. I mean,
no, you're right.
Offensively, they're loaded. They're a left tackle away from having.
Why haven't they called Cordy? You brought that up.
I've touched on this. So what I want to happen is I want to see him trade a third or fourth for Trent Williams, put him at left tackle to be that stopping gap for a year or two. If you can't get Trent Williams, go get Jason Peters. If you can't get Jason Peters, you want to go a little cheaper, go get Cordy Glenn. We've seen Cordy Glenn can play left tackle. And then what I want to see the Browns do, they're sitting 10th, move up. Now, if you get your left tackle who you were going to take in the draft, move up and go get Isaiah Simmons or go get Chase Young, which them just signing Adrian Claiborne says the Chase Young thing is probably not going to happen.
Young is going to Washington.
But, man, I would love, and you should love, too, if you're the Bengals, obviously, if it wasn't for Burrow, you should love Isaiah Simmons, dude.
I do.
Real.
Trading up for Young, you're gonna have to do a lot. You're gonna have to get to 2.
There's
been rumors of Washington gonna take Tua and all that. They just traded for Kyle Allen. They got Haskins there, and I think
that's a good point. I forgot they did just get Allen.
They gave up draft capital.
Played a pretty good
Allen.
Season last year. Man.
They and Rivera's familiar with him, but them giving up draft capital for him doesn't tell me that they're going to be in the market to draft Tua.
That's a good point. So
I think
three becomes that much more expensive.
Yeah, I think that's where the draft starts.
I think the Lions,
they're in a great spot.
Man, they could get paid. When I mean paid by as in picks coming at them left and right.
Yeah, let's say
to get up to 3. Could they be in on Tua? Could they trade Stafford?
I think they could, and I don't think that they would be too bad off to do that.
Or fuck, dude, you could leave Stafford there, grab Tua,
give him a redshirt year.
Yeah. There's a lot of things they can do there.
Stafford's record against
Jeffrey
winning teams
Okudah from Ohio State. I mean, you can't go wrong with Ohio State DB.
I keep seeing him being the mock, but man, Stafford's the injuries are there, and it's just kind of stale. Maybe a time I could see them taking Tua, but they're in a great position because let's say Cincinnati takes Burrow, Washington takes Chase Young. That's when you call Miami and say, "Hey, what are you going to give me to get up to this 3 spot? Or I'm about to take Tua."
I think the team that
draft day shit.
Yeah, I think the team that has to move up the most is sitting at 6 is the Chargers.
Yeah, because man, I just don't like Justin Herbert.
I just think they miss. I'm not sure Herbert's even going to be there because if somebody say the Bengals take Burrow, then at 3 is a trade, and someone comes up and gets Tua, then you're sitting there at 5 is who? Miami, and say they take Herbert.
I could,
and then that's what I'm saying. The Chargers, what are you going to do? You're going to take Love out of
that high?
See, and then let's transition this into our next question. Why is Cam Newton and Jameis Winston not signed yet? Like, where will they go? The Chargers and Cam Newton make a lot of sense.
They do, and I don't think the Chargers are doing that. I think they're going to get their young guy and they're going to run with Tyrod. They've pretty much come out and said
they got to move up though. I
think so too. I mean, unless Jordan Love at 6. Ugh.
Yeah, I mean you got to be really there. In on Jordan Love.
But what did everybody say when Kansas City traded up for Mahomes? Like, oh, what? Mahomes at 10, and then look what he became. So I mean. Maybe they have the guy that they fall in love with, but the Chargers and Cam Newton make a ton of sense. He's got weapons, pretty good line. I
just keep seeing Tua in a Dolphins jersey.
Yeah, I think Miami.
I think that might be the best spot for Tua.
I think they're in love with Burrow. I just don't think that Cincinnati's coming off of it. I just think that they're set. They're going to get their guy. They're going to sell the jerseys. The Ohio State fans are going to love it. The whole Ohio people are going to love that shit. But I think that Miami's going to make sure, okay, if we can't get Burrow, they're going to make sure they don't miss out on Tua.
Yeah.
They started the tank for Tua. They were supposed to be.
And then if Miami don't have to use those 2 draft picks and say they can move up 2 spots with a 3rd or 4th rounder, and you still got 2 more first-round picks. That would be nice for Miami, man. That is a good rebuild. You're rebuilding and you end up with Tua.
I think that they were doing this to tank for Tua, but they ended up winning games at the end of the year. I think that they're in a position.
You can't tell pro athletes you want to lose.
No, you just can't. That's coaches and front offices, and mainly front offices.
Right. And even trading away all theirs, but that's just good coaching by Brian Flores, man. I really like.
I like Flores a lot, But that's what I'm looking at. Miami may be in a great position because they may get the guy that they were going to tank for.
Yeah.
Plus, they've netted 2 other firsts.
But I think I'm with you, though. I think they really want Burrow.
I think they do, too. I think anybody that wants a quarterback would want Burrow because –
I don't know. I think there's some teams out there that might want Tua just because of the years of the numbers other than Burrow's one big year.
Yeah, and, man, just my personal – it's just – you've had 3 major lower leg, bottom half of your body injuries. One is like the Bo Jackson hip. That is just scary, man. Because
the good thing he's a quarterback and he shouldn't run a lot.
Well, I mean, that was a big part of his game at Bama. He's scrambling around, making the throws, taking the hits.
Yeah, but we know the college is a little different.
It's a little different, but I just
and at the pros you can't get hit like that.
You're looking at a guy that you're going to draft to be there for the next 10, 15 years. Is it the lefty with the bad legs and the bad ankles?
So then where's Cam end up? Where do you think he ends up?
The Chargers make the most sense. New England's out there. I just don't think him and Belichick would work.
What about the Broncos? They seem to be all in on Drew Lock though.
Yeah, they are. And dude, Drew Lock's dope, dude. He's like rapping Jeezy on the sidelines and shit. It's pretty cool. I like Drew Lock a lot.
I just think the Chargers make the most sense for Cam.
The Chargers are the most logical fit to me. They seem set on either playing out the draft. I think they know that there's time for Cam. There's not a huge market, so they can say, let's see what goes on in the draft. If we get our guy, we'll let Tyrod play a year while Herbert, Love, or whoever sits. Or if we don't get our guy, we don't feel like using the draft capital to trade up to get a Herbert or Love or however it's going to go out, then okay, maybe we give Cam a call after the draft.
If you look when the Panthers had a good run to the Super Bowl, man, they had a good defense. Which the Chargers have.
Yes.
And then not only that, there's some good weapons on the Chargers. I know they just lost Melvin Gordon.
No, they got
you got Austin
Allen,
Eckler.
Hunter Henry.
You got Hunter Henry.
Keenan Allen.
Who's the Mike Williams from Clemson?
He's flashy, but he's there.
Yeah, but, I mean, I think you're almost set up like Cam was with the Panthers.
Yeah. That Super Bowl really soured me on Cam, man. That fumble, he leaned back.
How he acted after it was,
That's my biggest thing about him, too. I like his game, but I just don't like his attitude and his, when we win, I'm a badass, and if you don't like it, shut me up, motherfucker type shit. Yeah. But then when they lose, he's like,
cries.
He's all mopey and head down and wants to talk to Goodell because he's getting hit too much. And man, that Super Bowl, that fumble where he pulled up.
Yeah, he didn't want to get on the
That's really what soured me off of him. But I think he can still play. But and we get into Jameis. Jameis is going to have to be.
He's going to have to. It looks like he's going to have to be a backup.
Yeah, he's going to have to hope.
He had the most passing yards in the league last year.
Yeah, I mean, Bruce Arians, man, he's going to throw that thing. He's going to throw it downfield. Yeah. And Chris Godwin came out and said, a lot of the picks, I guess, were, guys running a bad route.
Yeah, guys didn't know the routes.
So, I mean.
But, yeah, I mean, that's the quarterback, though. That's the position. You get all the blame for it.
I just feel like Jameis is just his picks have gone up every year. The maturity issue there is still, the college thing, the sexual assault, whatever, the stealing the crab legs, the screaming fucker right in the pussy at campus and then getting benched for half a game. Yeah. And then, did he or did he not sexually assault an Uber driver? That shit just keeps following him around. Yeah. And he was throwing a lot of picks. And it's just,
I know what team makes them. I've been saying it. And I think
Jameis?
The longer that this thing goes, I think he's going to end up there.
Oh, I know what you're about to say.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah. I know exactly what you're about to say.
The Steelers do not have a good backup quarterback.
No.
I just think if he's going to go sit, Ben's not going to play much longer.
Well, and you can't count on him being there. Ben misses time every year.
Right.
It's a matter of time.
What a better backup. I mean, if I can have Jameis Winston as a backup, I'll take him as a backup.
Yeah, I would definitely take him as a backup. I wouldn't want him as my starter. But
I mean, I just think you're like, oh damn. Well, this, Ben, here comes Jameis.
Yeah.
Who's going to air the ball out? We know that. I mean, you might get lucky, or good chance he'll throw you a pick.
Yeah. I think he would be a pretty good backup and maybe I think he may be a guy that needs a year of not being the starter to maybe humble him, mature him a little bit.
Yeah, maybe.
And as much
he's
as we hate
definitely not getting
Pittsburgh,
the money he thought he was going to get.
Definitely not. And as much as we hate Pittsburgh, that is a stable organization.
And that'll humble you.
That could help humble you and teach you up. So that would be a good fit. I wouldn't necessarily like it because I want the Bengals to put a few retirement licks on Ben this year and then bring in a guy named fucking Duck or Mason Rudolph who's terrible. But that makes a lot of sense. But I don't think either guy lands somewhere until after the draft because, I mean, there's a Jake Fromm that's going to pop up somewhere in the second round who coming into this year I was on the fail for Fromm train.
Right.
And he kind of took a step back, but I think that there's a lot there. He's got a lot of the tools. He may be a little bit of a project, but would somebody, sneak up and get him early to mid-second? And I don't want the Bengals to do that because that just reminds me of Andy Dalton. But could a team like the Chargers or New England or somebody do that, and then that takes away one of those spots for Jameis or Cam?
I don't say necessarily. I would say a smart team. Somebody is going to try and tank this year.
Oh, absolutely.
Trevor Lawrence is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, somebody's going to tank for Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, man, they should, man. I'm not big on tanking, but
I mean, if I'm getting into the season and I'm fucking 1-6 and the division's taking off and all that, and I don't have a chance. Fuck this,
dude. If the Bengals
trade that fucking house,
if the Bengals came out and said, "Look, we're gonna fucking take these picks, and we're gonna trade out, and we're gonna do this," and I promise you,
if that's
we're
the
gonna
case,
try to
Chase
lose.
Young right now.
We're gonna try to lose. Well, no, if they're gonna tank for Trevor, take the 3 first this year.
Yeah,
get Simmons or whatever you want to do. However you do that, and then if you tell me, just come out and say, like, I am tanking for Trevor Lawrence, cool, but don't go out there and
you
fuck
better
around.
Fucking lose.
Don't go out there and fuck around and win 5-6 games. Because if somebody whoever gets that number 1 pick, if they need a quarterback,
oh my God, Trevor Lawrence is going.
There's
number
no
one next year, and there's no fucking. I don't care if he breaks his leg.
Yeah, no, he's going 1.
Yeah.
I'm Burrow. I think Burrow's going to be very good. I think Burrow will be very good for 10 years. But if they said we're going to trade this pick and we're going to fucking make the kicker kick the ball to the left on every game when it something, then I'd be in. If they had a plan to tank for Trevor, I'd be in.
Yeah.
Get me 3 first and tank for Trevor. But God, man. What if people keep saying Belichick's going to tank for him, man? I just don't know. How do you get Bill in on a tank? Good. How do you get Bill in on a tank?
Belichick, like we just said, coaching is going to win enough games for Belichick is not going to be in the number 1 spot.
I still think that's where Dalton winds up. I just think they wait for him to be
Plus,
released.
I think Brian Hoyer wins a couple games. I mean, 8-8.
I mean, man,
9-7, something.
The last good Hoyer year was 2013, though. Like,
but they're still in a division with Miami and the Jets. I mean, not that Miami's getting better, but I mean they don't have a quarterback yet.
That's Buffalo's division this year.
That's Buffalo's division. But they're still right there. I mean, there's 4 wins. I mean, if you get a couple other games, winnable games, Belichick is the best coach. I'm sure he wins a couple of those.
I'm excited to see Belichick without him because the numbers of Belichick without Brady aren't very good, but he's a lot more experienced and seasoned now. I can't. I'm gonna follow the Patriots very closely.
I'm gonna follow. I think we're all gonna be following the Bucs too. But there. Enough with that. Let's transition this one over here to. Let's just keep it in the off season here.
So we're gonna stay with the free agency talk here. And there's some pretty good guys left. Honestly, man. Before we talked today, I didn't think there was anybody that good left, and then I looked. I'm like, oh shit, there's a lot of guys out there.
Man, the list is huge still.
One guy that's still out there that I think's good that I wanted the Bengals in on was Demarius Randall. Not going to happen now. I think they're pretty set at safety. Kelvin Beachum, an offensive tackle's out there. I mean, he's 31, but he's better than Bobby Hart. I'd really like them to kind of give him a call and see what's out there. Flacco's out there. No thanks. Snacks Harrison's out there, but I think we're good.
That's good. I mean, it depends what you're doing with Geno. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I think Geno's probably going to stay. Jason Peters out there. Is he a guy that would want to come play in a situation like Cincinnati this late?
You got to think
Jason
Peters wants to win. Like he's
not going to.
He's looking at a list as to where like, okay, this is where I want to go and win.
2 guys that I would like them to keep in mind for rotational purposes. If you can get a Jabal Sheard cheap enough.
Yeah.
Because, you want to have like 4 defensive ends.
Like almost for a rotation?
Yeah, you want like 4 ends that can rush. And the Bengals have Hubbard, who looks good. Lawson, who looks good when he plays. I don't know why he hasn't. And then Dunlap. But that fourth pass rusher, that other guy that you can keep in that rotation, Jabal Sheard or Ziggy Ansah are both out there. I wouldn't mind them taking a flyer on them if you could get them kind of cheap enough. Linebacker-wise, Nigel Bradham, 30 years old. Not a top-tier linebacker. He's an upgrade.
He's one-on-one. I'd like the Browns to.
Yeah, I would like the Bengals to call him.
Year or two.
Or Darren Lee, too. I thought before Darren Lee got traded to the Chiefs, which I believe was the beginning of last year, he's a good coverage linebacker, a guy that fits what the Bengals have needed for a while.
So what do you think is the Bengals' needs? Like, where do you want now with the guys that are left? I mean, obviously you want, linemen and...
Well, linebacker, I understand that they don't value it that much, but you still need it. But honestly, and this is assuming that Bobby Hart is the starting right tackle next year and there's nothing I can do about it, because I truly think that's the case. I think the Bengals are going to try Bobby fucking Hart is what I was trying to say, but I call him Fat Bobby. They're going to try him out to be the starting right tackle next year. I have to just accept that and hope for the best with it, that's really where I think it is. So knowing that, I would like to see both guard spots upgraded. Xavier Suafalo, I don't believe was brought in to be a starter. I think he was brought in to fight for a spot. I still pray and hope the Billy Price experiment is over.
So what's the plan with Price right now? Is that
he's going to play guard?
Is he starting as of right now or what?
He couldn't stay on the field as a guard last year, so I don't think that anything's set right now. I think both guard spots are going to have a battle this year in the offseason, and going to be weird to see how that plays out because there's not going to be OTAs. The best we can hope for now is training camp.
Yeah,
OTAs aren't going to be there. So, Bobby Hart should get traded to Dallas because they just lost their center.
And another guard there too, Josh Klein.
Mike Person is also out there. I wouldn't mind them bringing either one of those guys in.
Yeah, there's like I was telling you, there's still some. Donald Penn's out there. If you want a guy that can, step in, for what you need. Jason Springs is out there. I think the Bengals, I'm with you. The Bengals got to get the offensive line. And then
I wasn't aware there was so much offensive line help out there. And if you have these guys that play tackle, call them, be like, hey, man, would you be willing to come play guard? We got a pretty good thing going on with our left tackle. You want to come play left guard? Because that was the plan with Cordy Glenn last year.
Right.
Was him to kick into guard. So maybe there's a guy that can do that, or you can get a guy that's a natural guard. But, man, I don't want it to be Bobby Hart, man. That was just such a reach and a panic pick, and he's just turned out so bad. So, honestly, man, I didn't know the offensive line help was still pretty damn good.
Yeah.
That's still available. This is weird, man, because you got like a Clowney that's still out there and a Cam.
Well, it's because Clowney's not seeing the $20 million he wants.
Yeah, he's looking more like 17.
Yeah.
But I think the medical stuff, too, is hard, man. These guys can't get looked at by these team doctors. Yeah. And honestly, the Bengals have had such bad luck with their fucking doctors. I would trust an independent doctor more. The Bengals medical staff has been a joke. So
yeah. So the Browns, the Browns have done a lot here in the offseason with free agency. Obviously, put that tender on Kareem Hunt, which means he's not going anywhere. Case Keenum, the backup. Andy Janovich, our fullback, whose numbers looks really good, and we know Stefanski likes to use that.
Yeah, it's going to matter now.
We got, I think both of our number one target was Jack Conklin. The Browns did get him. Austin Hooper solidifies the tight end room. That double tight end is going to be super fun to watch, hopefully. An underrated signing that I really liked was Carl Joseph there at safety.
I like that one too.
Then we took Andrew Billings as a rotational guy there on the line. Kevin Johnson looks like he's going to play some nickel. He came over from the Bills. I always have trouble with this guy's name, but we recognize him because you don't see a whole lot of white defensive backs, and I don't mean anything by that there, but
no, it's just a fact,
right? Andrew Sadeho.
I think.
Came over from the Vikings.
All of their DBs left.
Right. Yeah. Picked up a backup center, Evan Brown. B.J. Goodson, I was reading the reason we picked him up. He's a very fast linebacker, which obviously Lamar Jackson is in your division. the one we talked about yesterday, and we like this because of the numbers. The Browns just signed Adrian Claiborne
for like
nothing.
nothing.
2 years, $6 million, which means $3 million apiece. That is a good rotation there at defensive end the Browns have got going on right now.
Yeah, and I've said this for years. I've said it on the show before, and I said it before we started doing the show. It is so important to have a good pass rush rotation and fresh legs and fresh bodies in there. And that, as soon as that came out, I said, "Oh shit!" And they got him so cheap.
Yeah,
his numbers are still like good. Like, it's not like he's on the back nine of his career.
So I was looking at this from Pro Football Focus. Last year's ratings of DNs, Myles Garrett was second of like getting to the quarterback. Adrian Claiborne was fifth.
Wow, so they got a top 5 pass rusher from last year for $3 million?
I think Adrian Claiborne was more of that rotational guy where I don't think he necessarily started.
Yeah, it's probably after a certain number of snaps or something.
I think it was of 200 snaps.
Okay.
Which is a lot of fucking snaps.
Yeah, that's a lot of. I mean, that's perfect for if that's what you're getting him for.
So Miles second, Adrian fifth. And that's coming from Pro Football Focus, which you see the numbers like, damn, that's nice. And not only with that, obviously you got Olivier Vernon still on the roster.
Is he staying?
It looks like it.
Because he wasn't
$15 million. I mean,
he was. I mean, I don't think he was overly impressive last year, was he?
He's injured. He got injured. Yep. But before that, I mean, he was great. But even if as a rotation, those three, and then Chad Thomas, who finally came on, he looked fucking fantastic when Miles got suspended.
Yeah.
Stepped in and was getting to the quarterback. I mean, it's just, like you said, 4 guys that can get after the quarterback, and you need that. And then inside with Sheldon Richardson, Larry Ogunjobi, and now Andrew Billings to stop the run.
Billings, man. I like him.
And, that's the thing. The thing is with Billings is, like, it never jumped out at me and wowed me, but his best year was last year.
Yeah, it was when Glasgow got hurt for Cincinnati.
So he got some playing time. But as far as the free agents go, man, I'm sticking to it. I really want that left tackle spot, trade up for Simmons, and then I would like to re-sign Demarius Randall. I think we still need a little more safety help, and I don't think he's getting the money he wants. So I would like to keep re-sign Demarius Randall and re-sign Rashard Higgins. That's where I'm at with the Browns right now.
I thought a deal with Higgins was like in the works early, but then it kind of that report kind of trickled off.
I think these guys at this point of the stage in free agency, I don't think these guys are seeing the money they want.
Oh yeah, absolutely not.
The Clowneys and the Higgins and the Randalls, because Randall thought he was going to get paid. Clowney thought he was going to get paid. Higgins, he couldn't have. I don't know what he thought. I mean, Freddie didn't use him. So
bringing up the safety position for the Browns, though, man, I saw Todd McShay's latest mock draft had them getting Grant Delpit at, like, what's their second round pick, 44, 42?
41, something like that.
Yeah, somewhere around there. I would absolutely hate that as a Bengals fan because I really, really like Grant Delpit. Before the Bengals signed Von Bell, I was kind of hoping they took him at 33.
Yeah.
Well, he's going to be a fucking
Von Bell.
baller, dude.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, the Browns do need subject. They got a Red Wine back there who was a rookie last year, but depth, man. I think the Browns are depth right now outside of, linebacker and left tackle. I think those are the two holes is, left tackle and linebacker. And then other than that, I think you're just adding depth.
Best player available type stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, so it'd be interesting to see. I mean, free agency's not over. The draft's up, and free agency almost kicks into another gear after the draft. You see, you got a board. You think you're going to get so-and-so. If you don't get so-and-so, then you hit back to that free agency board and, you like, okay, well, then let's call him and see if we can get him under contract.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably fair. It's like the second wave. So, yeah, Bengals, O-line help, please. I mean, anybody that has played in the NFL, at least check them out. Because, I don't want week 1 to come out and it be Billy Price starting at guard. I'm just soured on him, man, and it's not because he's from Ohio State.
No, he's been bad.
He's just been bad in a draft that we could have gotten, Lamar Jackson. Another one that I wouldn't mind the Bengals taking a look at, though, was Darren Lee. I can't believe I didn't know he was available, man. I hope they look into that.
I don't think he's so much lived up to the hype yet with the Jets either.
No, he didn't. That's why he got traded for a late-round pick. It's another thing. Like, just put some bodies in the linebacker room. Because right now, it's
tackle if you can tackle.
Right now, it's Pratt. I think Pratt is the only linebacker on the roster. I don't even think Hardy Nickerson is anymore.
And Nick Vigil isn't, is he?
Vigil's a Charger now.
Oh, did he sign?
Yeah, he signed
Okay.
with the Chargers,
Right.
so he's gone. So like your linebacker room's just nothing. So I'm starting to think there's a deep athletic linebacker class. You got to attack that early in the second or move up. Or
Yeah, they're
whatever
saying
you
that
can
this
do.
is a linebacker draft. So
hopefully
that works out for both of us.
The Bengals are just so bad, man. Like, look at all the linebackers they've drafted and just whiffed on. It's just like dude, Odell Thurman.
I know, you know what I mean? That's the thing, too, man. Well, Keith Rivers could have been good.
Yeah, until he got cheap shotted by Hines Ward and was never the same. But the Bengals miss on linebackers.
That's the fucking thing, though, man. The two other teams in our division, the Ravens and the Steelers,
always have good linebackers.
They don't miss on linebackers.
They always have good linebackers.
And the Steelers do not miss on receivers.
Yeah, they got Juju to kind of take over the reins for AB. And that was funny, man. AB, there was like, oh, he's going to Tampa with Brady, and Bruce Arians was like, no,
he's not.
Been there, done that.
Yeah, I've had enough of that guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm over it.
When you're making millions like that, man, you got to act a certain way to, professional. You're making millions and millions.
He's
of
like
dollars.
throwing bags of candy dicks at cops. Like, come on, dude.
Yeah, he's just a little bit. But.
Enough of that negativity. So, yeah, man, ready for the draft, the sense of normalcy. It's going to be weird how we do it this year, though, because, we're used to the player coming up taking the jersey. Is the player going to be there? Is it going to all be virtual? I mean, are they just going to, is each player going to get a box full of jerseys from teams in case he gets drafted and hats or what? Like, how's it going to work?
Yeah, so that's definitely going to be interesting to see.
Well, that's kind of the new thing that we've been able to do now is kind of look at the business aspect of sports, and everybody's studying that more, and everybody's learning more about that, I feel like, because it's something. It's some kind of sport.
Yeah, I tell you what, man, when this lockout or whatever the fuck this order ends, man, I just want to go to a game, dude. I just want to take my son and just be like, dude, let's just go to a game.
Yeah,
I
something.
don't care what it is.
Yeah, Cavs and Pacers or something.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. It's really made you love sports, man, because it's weird. We've been this has been going on for a long time, man. You can't turn on the TV and watch a live sports game. It's all rerun. You know what's about to happen.
Yeah, dude, I did that the other day.
I don't like that.
Because I've been working from home during this, and I got the NFL Game Pass. It's free. You can watch any game since 2009. I'm like, oh, dude, I'm going to watch that Bengals 2015 win against the fucking Seahawks to stay undefeated, that Pittsburgh win in 2009. Like, it's cool to watch and kind of look at the old guys.
You know it's about to happen.
And it's also weird how much we remember about sports, because I watched a game from 10, 11 years ago back, but I knew what was coming. Like, I was like, "Oh, this is where he throws that touchdown pass to to Reggie Caldwell."
There's two Browns Bengals games that were like almost 100 points.
Dude, that 07 one, it's not on there. That sucks.
Oh, really? I know
Game Pass only has games from 09
there was two.
on.
One was when
Derek
Anderson beat Palmer.
No, the Bengals won that game.
No. Derek Anderson was the one, I think.
In Cincinnati? Because I shared the highlights of that on Facebook.
Yeah, there was two. There's two. There was two games where they got like 100 points.
I remember the one in
two
Cincinnati the
games.
Bengals won.
Yeah. I'll have to get on there and check it out, I guess.
But yeah, we're watching that, and it's like, okay, cool. Like the Cavs playoff, the Cavs championship game was on. That's one of the greatest games in sports. It's fun to watch, but it's like, I know LeBron's about to block that.
Right. Yeah.
It's different, man. And you can play sports video games, but it's just not it. And it was weird because like right after this happened, a Facebook memory for me came up, and it was me like 6 years ago. Like, oh man, I just thought about life without sports. That was terrible, and now I'm living it.
Yeah, it sucks.
It's weird. More than anything, obviously, we hope you're all staying safe. If you do have a job where you have to be out and about, as you do, I hope you guys all stay safe and stay clean. But
I just feel bad for the seniors. Like.
Seniors in high school, seniors in college, yeah, absolutely.
Especially if you're playing baseball. I mean, you're probably not going to get to play baseball. Hopefully we get football in. I don't know. It's just taking it away from the kids, and
I mean, some kids aren't even. They're not going to have a graduation ceremony, dude.
Yeah,
like that sucks, man. Like
yeah.
It's bad, but and it has definitely given us a new appreciation, I think, for sports, because I mean, we're sports guys. We talk sports all day, every day. It's what we've done. That's half the reason why we all talk to each other. And now it's just like we're scratching and looking for anything.
Now we're just on the PlayStation every night.
Call of Duty. Hey, shout out Mark Smith. Me, Chad, and Mark got a big win last night.
Yeah,
stayed in the end.
We fucking camped all the way to the end and came out and started busting their ass.
So it definitely has given us a new appreciation. So we will be covering everything that goes on and trying our best to get in here, give you something to sit down and listen to, and just kind of
Take the pain. I mean, it's painful for everybody. So if we can, like we said, if we can take the pain away for an hour, then that's all we want to do anyway.
And I did want to get into a user question from our boy DC Fortson, avid listener, fan of the show. He did say, and this is actually pretty cool. I thought about it. Chargers adding Chris Harris to their secondary. Does that make their secondary top 5?
I think so.
It's close if it's not.
Yeah, I mean,
Derwin James, Chris Harris. I mean, they're locked up pretty well. I don't know.
I don't obviously.
Is
I think
it better than
the
Niners?
For the Chargers, it's staying healthy.
That's it's always the thing with the Chargers too. It seems like they always have an injury in camp.
Yeah, I mean because Chris Harris Jr., Darwin James, Casey Hayward Jr., and then Rashawn Jenkins as their secondary right now, and that's solid, man. That's solid. I don't think defense is going to be the problem for San Diego. I mean, you got Bosa and Melvin Ingram. You just signed Vigil, who doesn't have to be the main linebacker there. Denzel Perryman, and then that secondary. So DC, I think it's a top 5 secondary, man. I think it's going to be a lot of ball hawks back there.
And the second part of his question is, when do you think the NBA will resume and handle the playoffs when it does resume? There's been a lot of talk about that. Brian Windhorst was on ESPN yesterday, and I work from home, man, so I've been watching ESPN. I've just had it on. That the Chinese Basketball Association, who actually just recently extended their shutdown, had tossed the idea around of having 2 different cities and all 20 of their teams there and playing in like a centralized location with no fans. NBA players, I guess, aren't for that. I think that, man, a big part of me wants to say that they just cancel it.
Yeah, basketball is going to be tough to get back.
And
but
God damn it, man, the Lakers just made the playoffs for the first time in 7 years.
So here's what if they want to do something, how about make it just exciting as hell? How about you put every team in the playoffs and just do a fucking tournament like March Madness?
That would be single elimination.
Dude, fuck it.
I think
and number them. Lakers get 1, and it ain't no East or West.
Right.
Lakers get the 1, obviously best against the very last seed.
Right.
And then just
team.
I think that would be sweet. I mean, that wouldn't happen, but that would be sweet.
But this is my thing. Let's say that they do that, the Lakers win. You fuckers out there that don't like LeBron or don't like the Lakers are going to tell me that Lakers championship has an asterisk next to it forever.
No. Not if you make it a single elimination.
It's got to be, I think, they've got to find a way to make it at least best of 5 in the finals. Maybe best of 3 leading up, and then conference finals and NBA finals a best of 5.
Give a few like games, like almost like warm ups.
Yeah.
Give
them like a week to play a couple games,
and then just put everybody in it and just let's fucking go at it.
All right, that'd be fine too. I mean, that would be the Lakers ring, and I would claim it just as everybody else because then he'd beat the whole fucking league. Yeah. So
that'd be once in a lifetime.
I don't like that chance for the Lakers though. Now that I'm thinking about it, man, 1-on-1 against the Clippers or the Bucks.
I don't know. You might catch a team slipping and
I mean,
get an easy opponent.
But to answer his question, I think if they do get it back going, I think it's going to be a shortened regular season. They'll get into the playoffs, and I don't think that the players are all going to leave their families and go to 2, 3, 4 cities around and all hunker down and go play in a gym somewhere like in Vegas or something. But I think that they would probably just play it on their home floors, I guess, without fans.
Yeah.
And then, you'd see an empty Staples Center, and that would be weird. But I have my doubts, and it sucks because this is the first time that I've been able to really enjoy an NBA season with the Lakers being good in a long time. But I have my doubts that it even comes back at all.
I don't think the NBA comes back.
But if
we're going to miss a big chunk of baseball, and there is a possibility. I hope so. But I think the football might start on time.
Yeah, OTA. Like I said earlier, OTAs are out. Rookie mini camps are going to be out.
Who cares about OTAs?
Well, OTAs matter for rookies and guys that.
But you can. There's
teams with new pieces. But if they get training camp off and running at a good time, perfect. But I think that what they should do, and I guess this can go either way, take out a preseason game because of that.
Yeah.
Because guys have had, 2 less months, 3 less months to get in shape, at OTAs, doing drills, whatever. You put them out there at risk.
Yeah, if you're going to take out a game, take out the ones that don't mean shit.
And did they take out a preseason game this year, or is that starting next year? I think it's next year when the 17.
I don't know.
Because the expanded playoff is this year. The 17th game is the following year, so I think that's when they take off the preseason game. But I'd say take off at least one preseason game if you don't have OTAs. Nobody wants to watch those anyway. They're mostly all risk. So, man, it would be hard for me to stomach not having the NBA back this year, but I think I could. But I cannot do it without football, dude. I don't.
I go nuts.
I don't know. Like, I honestly.
And I've said it. If people follow my Facebook, like, something in me tells me we're not going to have any sports the rest of this year. Like,
that sounds so fucking terrible.
And
what am I supposed to do? Talk to my girlfriend?
Oh yeah, I think that's what we have to do.
What?
I just realized I was married. Like.
Yeah, she.
Like, what the fuck?
What was that noise I just made?
What the fuck's this ring?
I was trying to laugh and
What's
I just
this
stuttered.
on my finger?
Yeah, she seems nice though.
Better start paying these people attention.
There's a girl on my couch. She seems pretty cool. Word is she's got my kid in her.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, hopefully, we can, they say that this is supposed to get bad in the next week or two. Actually, this month. They say this month's about to be awful. So we don't know, how much we're going to be able to get in here and give you guys something to listen to. We want to do it as much as possible. So hopefully it's still every week, but obviously shit's going on with this virus to where
we want to bring you something relevant. We don't want to just sit here and babble back and forth, something with some substance. But yeah, like I said, man, you guys just stay safe and listen. If you don't have to go anywhere, don't go, because we've been talking about sports. The more people that just stay in their fucking house and just let shit. You got to go to the store. You got to get gas. I totally get it. But other than that, man, just stay at the house. Don't do anything you don't have to do. Let's slow the curve of this shit down. And, to protect the people, of course. But, man, let's get sports back.
Yeah, that's what we want the most.
Honestly, man.
I just need my vacations and my sports this year. And the rest I can deal with.
I got no vacations planned, so just give me sports. But I think that about wraps it up. We'll try to get back in here next week. Like I said, it's kind of up and down with how things are right now. So thanks for tuning in with us, guys. Stay safe out there. Locker Room Talk Uncut.